Um, I want to do a second part video of burnout versus a job. Um, I want to say that even though I am a social media person, apparently with my videos, I tend to be a little bit private, but I'm really not. It's so much about me that still I haven't told because I tend to stay on this topic of three things, which is burnout, self-defense, and less lethal. But this is a lesson that people should learn. Anything that's social media can be used as any type of weapon at any given time. If you put it out there in the universe, and the model is what you put out there will never come back, empty. And that's true. Once you put it out there, it's out there. But the lesson is this: despite I've had two people who try to use my channel as a weapon against me, it wasn't for self-defense. It was just them trying to make a case for me not to work in their department, and they took a particular subject. And I think the idea was when they asked me, do you have weapons here? And I'm like, of course not. What indication that give you I carry weapons inside a work facility? And then they refer to something I said a couple years ago, which I'm shocked. But nevertheless, it's a lesson learned. It's a lesson that a job will use the letter of the law to try to ruin you. And if they can use something like less lethal or self-defense as a weapon, they will. Even if you put less lethal and you put constitutional right in guns, it's a recipe saying, hey, you could be, liable for something. And I understand now, I understand more than ever the risk of what my content has to be, and be careful how to separate work and my content from, and I pretty much thought my content from work. I mean, I don't mention my job. I mean, I have no need to do that. That's not even what I want to do. I don't even like work like that, where I want to mention it. But I may mention stories I have done in the past. It's so disappointing that people can use anything as a weapon. And this particular boss was like, "What are we doing for your best interest? It's to protect your." I'm like, "You really? No, that's just a lie. You're just using company policy. Try to use that as a weapon." I mean, if I was wearing the badge, and I think in the past I have of other jobs, which now I realize that's a mistake. And you working, you have to be very, very careful what you say and how you say it, because jobs are looking. I thought they look for it when they try to hire you. I've heard about it, but now I know for a fact a job at any given time can search what you have. I mean, it could be personal stuff, but you put it out there, they can. So if I could, with my YouTube channel, just add people and put it public without jobs, I would. but I can't. It has to be private or it has to be public. So the content is public, which is fine. It's the very same stuff I would talk about no matter what job I do. I'm not a sex worker on OnlyFans. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just a man that talk about self-defense, less lethal, and some social aspect of things when there's a subject that come about. But be careful what you say. It will be used against you in the court of law. But this job it was just really two horrible bosses that were just trying to use a weapon, and they found anything to want me to go. They couldn't find anything on my work ethics because I'm doing my job. But I did not fit the politics of what they're trying to do. And I refused to, hey, I'm going to work 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't. I was going to work from 8 to 5. And I feel like they want somebody who would do this job 24/7 and they could burn them out. And I wasn't that. And also, I felt like I did not give information about coworkers as weapons and snitch, and I didn't play that type of politics with them. So I think, in other words, I didn't play the politics that they want because that's not who I am. I just realized some very low life things. Now, the thing what pissed me off about this is you tell me this and then smile in my face and pretend like I don't even know that this stuff wasn't leaked. I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb by no stretch nation. But if a coworker or a company or any job can treat you like a criminal, I don't care if you talk about flowers and roses all day long. If any job can do that and try to use that as a weapon for you, really that is not the job to work. It's really not. It's not even have to do anything about the social content. If they have no respect for you as a coworker to kind of, just let you have your private life, I'm really disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised the coworkers or bosses that try to use things. I just thought I wasn't big enough to put content out there where you feel like you need to smear me. But I see it. I saw it coming. And I guess the kicker today was, well, man, I really hate to see you go. You're so, best of luck to you, as I had to shake your hand. Really, and you are the reason why I'm leaving. And it's not even, I could have fought it, and I could have said, nobody's going to push me out. I'm going to do. I could have did that, but I'm like, man, you don't pay me enough. You really don't pay me enough for me to deal with this type of garbage. I can get less pay, less political, and be just fine. But the lesson I did learn, once again, is make sure you be careful how you mention a job in your videos. I thought I did a good job to keep it separate, but now I know for a fact I'm going to be even extra careful to make sure what I am passionate about, which is a constitutional right, and I'm legally able to carry it, is not involved with my work life or even mention it. I'm going to keep it as separate can be. So that's the lesson I learned. And I'm going to continue to do my less lethal, continue to talk about my weapons. I'm going to be very careful what I say about past jobs. You know, whatever. And not because I did anything wrong, it's just that people can use it as a weapon they choose to. So, long story short, keep your Facebook private, which I kept that private. My Instagram is private, which I kept that private. My TikTok is semi-private. But my videos is usually parroting other videos up to time. So you can't really find that. And I'm not even at the age where I'm going to hold up guns and all that nonsense. That's not even me by my nature. But be careful what you put out there. If you could be anonymous, be anonymous. But since my pretty face is already out there, folks, you know, I can't go anonymous now. But it's a good lesson that I will pass on to other people and young people. Like, yo, be careful what you put out there. There's always somebody watching. It don't matter the age. Somebody's watching. So, but I feel okay. I move on. I got another job, more pay, and it wasn't really about the pay. I just, it was the freedom that you can't just watch my videos and try to, make me feel like I'm not a human being. That is the point of why I said what I said. You're not going to just make me feel like I'm not a human being, and you have every right to kind of prostitute me and open me up and expose me and lick it out and around my body and think you're okay. Some things a job do not have the right to. Even though they may legally have the right to, doesn't mean as a human being, as the moral thing, you have a right to. People have a right to private life. If it's not something incriminating, something lewd, something that's involved of threat, in those things, a job do not have a right to just be scoping you. I don't care what the law says, unless you're a pedophile, unless you're a sex offender, a domestic violence. If you got those type of crimes and you're doing criminal activities, then yes. But if you are not doing criminal activities, they do not have a right to. And that's my principle. So, all right, have a good one.